Welcome, welcome, welcome! It's Freaky Friday! Yay! I am the goddess of radical self love, and this is MECA. Make everyone count always. We are a support network for radical self love, full forgiveness, acceptance, compassion of the self, experts in self care, becoming. And master manifesting the life you desire and deserve through radical self-love and self-care. Yes, that's what we do. That's what we do here. We also value and support our community's most vulnerable care receivers and those who care for them, caregivers. When our community's most vulnerable feel valued and supported, the rest of us will be assured we are valued and supported as well. Yay, Freaky Friday! Freaky Friday is the day where we are our full self-actualized selves. So we are going to walk how we would like to walk, not based on anybody else's idea of how we should walk. We're going to speak the way that our heart would like us to speak. And we would like to do the things that, well, our conscious creations that we would like to, get out of our insides that are just dwelling there and itching to come out. Creations that we need to make. So this is what we do on Freaky Friday. And today I will be working on my painting some more. She's almost done. I love her. Yeah. Isn't she gorgeous? So far, I love her. So, after our lesson, I will be going to this, and during the day, today I have been working on a certification curriculum for radical self-love. Yes. You guys will probably just be able to take it and test out and then be coaches for others if you would like, if you've been following. So, pretty sure you'd be able to do that. Okay. So, I decided to utilize our friend Esther and Jerry Hicks from the Vortex, getting into the Vortex. Because, well, for now, on this channel, I can do whatever I want. And I want to pull cards. So, my every thought is attracting its vibrational essence. So powerful our thoughts, right? Whether you are thinking about wanted things or unwanted things, you are still sending out a request to attract more things like the subject of your thought. And all things that happen to you, all people, things, experiences that come to you, come in response to your vibrational invitation. Noticing how things are turning out for you is one very clear way of understanding which vibrational requests you are emanating. Because you are always getting the essence of what you are thinking about, whether you want it or not. And actually, our lesson with my boyfriend Maslow is on this similar, right, today. So, thank you, Esther and Jerry Hicks, from the teachings of Abraham. It's super hot. I mean, steamy hot. Like if you go outside, your sunglasses steam up. And I mowed the lawn twice. because it stopped and ran out of gas once. And then I started again, and the dog leash got caught in the mower. So hopefully I can repair it and finish tomorrow. So, and I went on a walk with the dog in the heat, and it felt so good. It's like all the yuck comes out of your pores, and it feels so amazing. To me anyway. I know not everyone likes the heat, but if you can, just do it for the release, right? Well, the crap that's all over in your body and wants to get out, just go outside. It will come out. All right. Moving on. So today we're using my boyfriend Maslow's, right? Towards the psychology of being, and we are on the avoidance of knowledge as avoidance of responsibility. And the reason that we utilize Maslow's work for self-actualization is because he knows all about self-actualization. He's like the master creme de la creme to me. And I mean, everybody, you know, I don't agree with every single thing he says. I have my own brain, but I really do love him. Just because he's my boyfriend doesn't mean he tells me how to think and believe. So, the avoidance of knowledge as avoidance of responsibility. Yes, it's happening so often nowadays. We'll discuss after. Anxiety and timidity not only bend curiosity and knowing and understanding to their own ends, using them, so to speak, as tools for allaying anxiety. But also the lack of curiosity can be an active or a passive expression of anxiety and fear. Lack of curiosity can be an active or passive expression of anxiety or fear. Because you're afraid to go out and explore the world or yourself. Right? This is not the same as the atrophy of curiosity through disuse. So, I have like a lot of people who say that they can't do art or something. You know, like they can't paint, they can't do this, they can't do that. Like all these things that are just expressions to the individual, right? I mean, some people may like them outside of the individual, but it's really about the individual themselves. So they're judging their own work. So maybe somebody said it was a bad painting when they were little or something, who knows? But they just never, kept going with any of it, So creativity atrophies, right? Like curiosity atrophy. Not the same thing, right? Of not doing it. I guess, well, the example I just used actually for the somebody saying when you were little that they didn't like your painting, that would be anxiety and fear driven, and where you wouldn't want to do it again then possibly. So that's, I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, that is, we can seek knowledge in order to reduce anxiety, and we can also avoid knowing in order to reduce anxiety. Avoid knowing. This has been a major issue for me with a lot of people in my life. From serious issues, right, that people just don't want to deal with. So they act like they're not happening, right? To use Freudian language, incuriosity, learning difficulties, pseudo-stupidity can be a defense. Ow, I just bit my tongue. Knowledge and action are very closely bound together. All agree. Knowledge and action. I go much further and am convinced that knowledge and action are frequently synonymous, even identical in the Socratic fashion. I agree. Where we know fully and completely, suitable action follows automatically and reflectively. Choices are then made without conflict and with full spontaneity. Right? Boom. No, that's not right. Or you know you have to do something and you just do it. Right? You know something's good to do, and instead of thinking about whether or not you should do this good act that passed through your mind, you don't think about it, you just do. Yeah. Or the other way, that's wrong. Automatically stop. You see somebody getting hurt, you automatically go to help. You don't consider. I guess that would be too, like, well, to me that's knowledge, because you are a witness, so that's knowledge, right? So if you decide, like, to pretend you didn't see it, that's a little different than, I guess you could pretend you don't see it, but, you know, I guess, whatever. Just stick with me. This we see at a high level in the healthy person who seems to know what is right and wrong, good and bad, and shows this in his easy, full functioning. But we see this at another level. Sometimes that easy, full functioning is also a lie. But whatever. But we see this at another level altogether in the young child or in the child hidden in the adult. So, yeah. For whom thinking about an action can be the same as having acted, the omnipotence of thought. The psychoanalysts call it. That is, if he has had a wish for death of his father, he may react unconsciously as if he had actually killed him. In fact, one function of adult psychotherapy is to diffuse this childish identity so that the person need not feel guilty about childish thoughts as if they had been deeds. Which is radical self-love to, first step, forgiveness of the self. Therefore, you can forgive others. So, with that, you can release those even subconscious thoughts that were left there in the past, right? Keep on forgiving. Follow it back to where the root was. In any case, this close relation between knowing and doing can help us to interpret one cause of fear of knowing as deeply a fear of doing, a fear of the consequences that flow from knowing, a fear of its dangerous responsibilities. Often it is better not to know, because if you did know, then you would have to act and stick your neck out. This is a little involved. A little like the man who said, "I'm so glad I don't like oysters, because if I liked oysters, I'd eat them and I'd hate the darn things." So, within my family, right, when something that had occurred was brought to the attention of others and was a devastating thing, some refused to believe it or accept it or whatnot, right? So the denial is also a form of not knowing, right? You can choose to not know, because it will be harder and more destructive at times to know it will change, literally change your entire life to know. And you have to make these specific choices based on that knowledge. So it's really difficult when you're codependent, because you'll find ways to make excuses for people's behaviors so you don't know the truth. Yeah, we always do. We're just playing a game with ourselves, right? So. It was certainly safer for the Germans living near Dachau not to know what was going on, to be blind and pseudo-stupid, for if they knew, they would either have had to do something about it or else feel guilty about being cowards. The child, too, can play the same trick, denying, refusing to see what is plain to anyone else, that his father is a contemptible weakling or that his mother doesn't really love him. This kind of knowledge is a call for action which is impossible. Better not to know, which is pretty much like I was saying about my family, right? It was too hard for some of them to accept, so better not know. In any case, we now know enough about anxiety and cognition to reject the extreme position that many philosophers and psychological theorists have held for centuries, that all cognitive needs are instigated by anxiety and are only efforts to reduce anxiety. For many years, this seemed plausible, but now our animal and child experiments contradict this theory in its pure form, for they all show that generally anxiety kills curiosity and exploration, and that they are mutually incompatible, especially when anxiety is extreme. The cognitive needs show themselves most clearly in safe and non-anxious situations. A recent book summarizes the situation nicely. The beautiful thing about a belief system is that it seems to be constructed to serve both masters at once, to understand the world insofar as possible and to defend against it insofar as necessary. We do not agree with those who hold that people selectively distort their cognitive functioning so that they will see, remember, and think only what they want to. Instead, we hold the view that people will do so only to the extent that they have to and no more. For we are all motivated by the desire, which is sometimes strong and sometimes weak, to see reality as it actually is, even if it hurts. Summary. It seems quite clear that the need to know, if we are to understand it well, must be integrated with fear of knowing, with anxiety, with needs for safety and security. We wind up with a dialectical back and forth relationship which is simultaneously a struggle between fear and courage. All those psychological and social factors that increase fear will cut our impulse to know. All factors that permit courage, freedom, and boldness will thereby also free our need to know. And I guess I really do want to talk a little bit about our friend Shandy that I kept calling Shady. I don't know what was wrong with me, but anyway, it's my fault. I apologize, Shandy and the girls. You know, they're on this tour, these courageous women who were all kidnapped and sold into a sex trade and forced to do unimaginable things, you know? And they escaped with my friend, now my friend, because I just met him or talked to him, Eric, and he's from Minnesota. So 2 of them didn't make it on this 90-mile on foot hike to safety, and they got denied entrance 3 times at the gate by military officials, right? And by Eric's uppers. And eventually they got him across, except for the 2, they carried their bodies the entire way once they passed away. But they've been going on this tour across the United States and not really receiving the attention I believe that they need and deserve. But it's only through their boldness, right? It's only through their courage, right? Impulse to know, too. Fear will cut our impulse to know, but courage, freedom, and boldness will thereby also free our need to know. You know, because the courage and the boldness of these women, they're informing, they're educating, they're helping to heal many. And they deserve to have a want to know the truth. I need to know the truth, right? So, I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to help them. So, once this other shiz is done, well, at least the website is done. On the 1st. And whatnot. I gotta get together or get to work on their website, and I would love to take a trip out there to see them. So hopefully everything starts falling together, and the karma coins and dharma coins start falling into our bank account, so I can get some things done that need to be done. And until then, I'm just gonna paint. Yes. It's a strange world we live in. Although, I do like to uncover the secrets and stuff. It's kind of fun. I think it's all fun. Be an observer of this great, magical world. Yes. Dance it out. I hope you all have an amazing Freaky Friday and weekend. And I will see you all on Monday. Manifestation Monday. I love you all. Oneness. Ciao, ciao for now.